Good morning. Welcome to the 2022 opening Convocation. We gathered in this room on Monday evening for the fourth night celebration, and that represented your official welcoming into the Millsaps community, where we celebrated the major call, our code of conduct for responsible campus citizenship. Today we focus on your official welcome to the academic program and the community of scholars at Millsaps. We'll build on the 5 core values that we talked about at fourth night of honor, integrity, compassion, justice, and service. And today we'll celebrate the college's honor code. I invite now the Dean of the Chaplain, Dr. Joey Shelton, to come and give us the invocation.
May we pray. God of grace, we are today convened at this place and in this season for a worthy and special purpose, to receive the gift of a broadened mind and holistic education. And so we ask you, Holy One, to shine upon us the rays of thinking and knowing. May over the course of our lives, the learning and knowledge entrusted to us be transformed into wisdom. And through that transformation, those with whom we work and rest, labor and play, read and write, laugh and cry, speak and listen, find in us generous friends. Creator God, we give you thanks for the eternal sufficiency and ever-present gift of faith, hope, and love. And we pray this with gratitude for the gifts for which we have been given. Amen. You may be seated.
Now you may be seated. Good morning. It's my privilege to serve as president of Millsaps College and to welcome you, the class of 2026, and our new transfer students to this special occasion, the opening convocation of the year. You are a bright and talented group of new students, and it will be our privilege to teach you and to learn from you in the years ahead. You will be giving back as much as you take away from Millsaps, now your alma mater, and our relationship with one another will be lifelong. I want to say first, thank you. Thank you for choosing Millsaps as your college home, and thank you for entrusting your educational experience to the outstanding faculty and staff, student life professionals, coaches, groundskeepers, all who make up the Millsaps family, and whose lives are now closely linked with yours because of the intimate experience that's the hallmark of Millsaps College. Please know that I do not use lightly words like family and closely linked. These words carry meaning and significance that should not be overstated. But I believe these words name attributes of Millsaps experience that run deep and true. The words remind us of the importance of community, the need for mutual respect and generosity of spirit that will enable us to make our way forward in an exciting and promising, but also complex and challenging time in our world. In times like these, closely linked communities, including the Millsaps community, are vitally important and more likely than ever to be life-supporting and life-changing. Indeed, one of the most frequently spoken refrains among our student and alumni family is that, quote, Millsaps changed my life. Lives are truly changed here. They're transformed by the quality of the educational experience and by the lifelong relationships that grow here between college friends and between students and their mentors. Relationships that grow out of a sense of belonging to a place, belonging to one another, belonging to a shared sense of what's good and noble and fair and just in an academic community, and beyond that, in a free society. My political philosophy professor at Duke University, John Hallowell, once wrote, quote, "Man lives not for the sake of existence alone, but that he may live well and do good. Our efforts should be deliberately and rationally directed toward making us better human beings, toward seeking to discover principles that will make for a free and just society, and encouraging individuals to be by the best means at their disposal to put those principles into practice." That's a message that's actually embedded in Millsaps' newly redefined and Board of Trustee approved vision for the future. While our mission has not changed, here's our new vision statement. Here's what success looks like for the future with its student-centered focus. In a campus environment that fosters close personal relationships, an empathetic understanding of others, and a deep sense of belonging, Millsaps College produces informed, creative thinking, and versatile citizens who are career-ready, civically minded, and dedicated to a life of learning, service, and meaning within the state of Mississippi and beyond. Essential to that vision are the 5 core values of the college that you individually and collectively embraced during the fourth night ceremony Monday evening, marking your acceptance into our community and your commitment to high standards of conduct and citizenship. Recalling again those core values that apply to the entire Millsaps community: honor, calling us to act with dignity, seek truth, and maintain the highest respect for ourselves and others; integrity, calling us to adhere to sound moral principles and to accept responsibility for our decisions and our behavior; compassion, calling us to act with benevolence, empathy, and grace toward one another. And I pause for just a moment on those last two words, empathy and grace, because those personal qualities, perhaps above all others at this time, are desperately needed in today's world as the times implore us to live in another person's shoes and to offer grace when misunderstandings occur and mistakes are made. Justice, calling us to vigilantly uphold fairness for all, and service, calling us to serve others through selfless and often unrewarded leadership. I hope that you, our newest students, and we all as members of the Millsaps community, will do everything in our power to be exemplars of those core values, and alongside them, to embrace and show love, empathy, and grace for one another in all our differences. And make no mistake, we are indeed different from one another, and we must honor and celebrate those differences and our individuality as we grow into the persons and community we aspire to be. I was reminded of the importance of individuality in the midst of community a couple of weeks ago when my wife Phoebe and our daughter Carolyn and I were visiting the Morgan Library and Museum in New York. There was a special exhibit honoring the 100th anniversary of James Joyce's classic work, Ulysses. And inscribed on a wall in the exhibit was a quote from Joyce that struck me as important as I was thinking about your upcoming arrival on campus. That was very much on my mind. And the quote said and lamented about his country of Ireland. It said, quote, "The soul of a man is born in this country. When the soul of a man is born in this country, there are nets flung at it to hold it back from flight. When the soul of a man is born in this country, there are nets flown at it to hold it back from flight. Our task," Joyce went on to say, "is to try to fly past those nets, to fly past those nets." My hope today is that while you, the newest members of the Millsaps family, embrace the core and immutable values of this community, this family, you will at the same time fly past the nets, the preconceptions of time and place, and the presumed limitations on your soul that would constrain your flight. My hope is that you will begin a transformative journey at Millsaps that will be truly yours and that will help shape you into the person you have always envisioned being. God bless you. It's now my pleasure to introduce the President of the Student Body Association, Mr. Otis Kenner.
Welcome, class of 2026 and transfer students. Once again, thank you for joining this family of academia. Many of you are still confused on what Convocation actually is. Today marks your official journey as a major. With this comes great responsibility to uphold yourself and your fellow classmates to the highest of standards, honor. The year may be trying, and you may even question your decision. However, honor is not only our commitment to this institution, but this institution's commitment to us. Know you are supported, and nothing you will be asked will have to be done alone. We will walk alongside each other. Thank you.
Thank you, President Perigin. Otis? It's now my pleasure to introduce our Convocation speaker, the recipient of the 2022 Distinguished Professor Award, Dr. Kurt Thaw. Dr. Thaw is the chair of the Psychology and Neuroscience Department and the director of pre-health programs. Currently, he is co-chairing the Strategic Planning Committee charged with enhancing the comprehensive four-year experience for Millsaps students. And there is no one who I know who is more engaged with the entire Millsaps experience than Dr. Thaw. He is a fixture on campus, an ever-present figure at athletic and extracurricular programs, and he consistently projects an attitude and optimism that is both positive and infectious. Dr. Thaw is in his 25th year at Millsaps after completing a PhD from Florida State University and serving as a postdoctoral fellow at both the University of Virginia and Cornell University. Dr. Thaw is a productive and influential scholar, an excellent teacher in every imaginable way, and most distinctly, a tireless and passionate community member. He is all in for Millsaps, like few that I know. His extraordinary work in recruiting students and promoting Millsaps makes me confident that many of you are here today in part because of meeting Dr. Thaw in the admissions process. And his outstanding work in forging and sustaining partnerships and relationships with professional schools and programs in the health sciences will launch many of you to successful careers. Millsaps is a better college and community because Dr. Thaw has chosen to invest his life and energy here. Please help me welcome Dr. Kurt Thaw to give the 2022 Convocation address.
All right. Great to see a room full of brand new majors. Welcome to college, and in particular, welcome to this college. I'm sure you all had a number of reasons for why you chose Millsaps. However, I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about today was probably on your list, but it probably should have been. So let's get into it. If COVID taught us anything, it's that it's super easy to cheat when we take online classes, right? This guy knows what I'm talking about. He's with me on that. We know. But it also reminded us that there's a lot of value in communicating face-to-face, in the same space, in real time. When we communicate well with each other, effectively with each other, our thoughts, our feelings, our ideas, the better we understand not just each other, but also the world around us. So you all remember, I'm sure, what it was like, being in a Zoom situation, being in a chat room. We all learned really clever ways to pretend that our video feed went out or that our mic wasn't working. We did it, right? We all know. We did it too. For me, though, the worst part of those sort of virtual experiences that we were having was that it just didn't feel real. Like we weren't sharing experiences together. We weren't working together. We weren't learning together. There was a disconnect, a lack of communication. But now, here we are, together again, and it feels amazing. So, if you're not quite as excited as I am about being at college, I understand, because you're just getting started. You don't know yet how college is probably going to change your life, how it's going to open your mind and your heart, how it's going to open doors to opportunities and careers you probably didn't even know you were going to end up with. However, these things don't just happen. They don't just happen. College is what you make of it. You have to be proactive. You have to find meaningful connections, be curious, engaged, and most important, take responsibility for your own education. Now, how many of you think or want to think that you're going to do something or experience something really amazing at Millsaps? Show of hands. You think you're going to do it? Great. Yeah, you should. But how many of you have figured out how you're going to do that? Do you have a plan for that yet? Maybe you do, but you might not because you're just getting here and you're maybe not sure what you can do or how to proceed. So I'm going to offer just a few suggestions. First, get connected. Get engaged, look up, look around, set down your smartphone and your vape pen, log out of TikTok and Twitter, because while you may be trying really hard to connect with that world of social media, you're missing out on the real world. You're missing out on real, wonderful, amazing things right in front of you. Maybe you've noticed that when you're really engaged with something, it's easy to feel present, to feel focused, to know that it's real. Like if you're traveling to a new place or maybe learning a new skill that you're interested in, it's very easy to just feel yourself being motivated and excited and energized by what you're doing. When you experience new things, it's easy just to soak it up and to say, man, this is wonderful. I'm so glad I'm doing this. But on the other hand, if you half-heartedly are interacting with people or places around you, you don't get very much from that. For example, in a familiar setting, it's pretty easy to get complacent and to have your mind wander and to not be engaged. You can, for example, walk into your intro to psych class, week 7 here at Millsaps, and say, same room, same time, same professor, boring, right? You can do that. Or you could be really engaged and walk into that exact same class, week 7, and say, this is amazing. Yesterday, we talked about how useless personality tests are, and today we're going to talk about psychoactive drugs and their effect on my brain. This place is awesome. And you have that choice. You can walk in and be excited, or you can walk in and be completely disengaged. And what you're going to get out of that experience depends on how you walk into that experience. Now, not to be too dramatic, but you have been offered a wonderful gift. 4 years to do nothing but improve yourself, to widen your horizons, to expand your knowledge, challenge your familiar ideas and thoughts, and to do as Teddy Roosevelt and countless others that came after him have suggested, to dare greatly. I encourage you to embrace these challenges, embrace these new experiences, and be ready to learn and to grow, because if you're not here for that, then I'm not sure why you're here at all. Now, I mentioned the famous quote by Teddy Roosevelt. He's the guy from the Night at the Museum movies. He made those comments in what Americans like to call the man in the arena speech, and he made that speech over 100 years ago. Part of the purpose of that speech was to remind us that there's a person willing to be judged, to be challenged, to be tested, that's the person we should value. That's the person we should say, man, that's a pretty bold guy. We should admire that person. But Roosevelt was ahead of his time, because in that same speech, he also noted that there are people who will never take risks, who will never put themselves in a position to be judged, but instead will hide behind their criticisms and hurtful comments about others. And, well, those people, according to Roosevelt, are pretty useless. He referred to them this way: the critic is not who counts. It's a very simple, elegant way to say that those are not the people we should be, thinking about. 100 years have passed since this speech, and those same useless people are around. They're the ones writing all those horrible comments on social media sites, people who cannot handle themselves being judged or criticized, but instead hide behind their keyboard or smartphone and try to tear down other people. And for what purpose? Those people aren't contributing positively to society, they're not advancing any new ideas, and they certainly are not daring greatly to do anything. However, their platform has become enormous thanks to the internet. And we sometimes think that maybe they have something important to say because they're communicating with such authority. And yes, their words can be mean and ugly, but they say it with such conviction, like they know something that maybe we should be paying attention to. But here's the thing. These trolls and haters, Roosevelt was right. They should be disregarded. Plus, they probably don't know anything. There's this wonderful phenomenon that you've probably never heard of, but you've seen it. It's called the Dunning-Kruger Effect. Basically, people who claim to be super knowledgeable and say they have all the answers tend to be the dumbest person in the room. But the people who are the smartest person in the room tend to downplay what they know, and they understand that maybe they don't have all the facts, and they will say, well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I have the answer. For example, I've been conducting research on hunger and appetite for over 30 years now, and so yeah, that means I have a lot of information about weight loss. But if you come to me and you say, Dr. Thaw, I heard your speech, man, I need to lose 20 pounds, what can I do? You are going to be very disappointed in what I have to tell you. Because After I discuss all the variables that come with trying to lose weight and all the individual differences that apply to people in these situations, if you're still awake after that lengthy discussion, what I'm going to tell you is I don't know. I don't know what's going to work for you, because that's true. It's a fact. However, ask any rando who doesn't know anything about weight loss, and they'll tell you straight up, dude, I know just what you have to do. And they usually start by trying to discredit the experts, by trying to say, the knowledgeable people don't know what they're saying. And they want to tell you this message, that they have, like they're a spy telling you something super secret. So like, hey, come here. I tell you what you need to do. First, don't listen to those scientists and those nerdy geeks who think they know everything. Listen to me. Here's what you do. You get a big bowl of Jell-O, 3 pickles, and a Pepsi. Swear to God, this works. Yeah, these people, they don't know anything. So the Dunning-Kruger Effect is this magnificent thing that we've all seen in people, right, who think they have the answers, but they don't. Taylor Swift, she had it right. You don't know what you don't know. People with little knowledge do not know enough to recognize how informed they truly are. So they are super confident that they know the one simple answer. Well, I'm going to give you a super secret spy piece of information. Complicated topics never have a simple answer. That's why they're complicated. But guess what? I do have some good news for you. And that is here at Millsaps, this weird, wild, wonderful place that we call home, you will find the exact opposite people as you find on the internet. No trolls. Instead, you are going to find people who themselves have been challenged and who have failed and who have wondered many times, can I really do this? Can I overcome the obstacles laid out in front of me? And you know what? They did. They have dared greatly. And these people, faculty, staff, coaches, your RA, your pathway leaders, these people are all part of your world now, here to support you, to encourage you, and yes, to challenge you. And it's real. It's not virtual. It's not remote. You have the chance right now to get out of the fake world of social media that includes things like alternative facts and an inability to communicate anything other than negativity and criticism, and instead embrace the opportunity to be in this world, surrounded by people who want to get to know you, who want to help you and encourage you and guide you to becoming the best and most honest version of who you really are. A good friend of mine recently commented that it's important to be that someone for someone. We may not always know what people are going through, what they need, or what they want in their lives, but it's important just to be there, to listen, to laugh, to cry, and sometimes to just talk it out until they feel okay. Social media and the comments therein, they keep you from being yourself. You've had to grow up with this your entire life, as if that's normal. But it's keeping you from that genuine you. Well, welcome to one of the few places left in the United States where the real you is exactly what we're looking for. It's exactly what we want. You've probably seen our website. And this may sound odd, but we don't want you to fit in here. That's sort of the opposite of what we want. We want you to belong here. So what's the difference? Well, if you take a square piece of wood, try to get it to go through a round hole, you can reshape that piece of wood, you can change it, you can cut off the corners until it fits. But it'll no longer be square. However, it's much easier to find where that square piece of wood belongs, and then it doesn't have to change to fit in. It goes perfectly into that square hole, right where it belongs, right where it's supposed to be. Be proud of that badge you now wear called Millsaps. Defend it, not with your fists, but with your accomplishments. All of you will someday be that person in the arena, the person who says, I'm going to accept that challenge. I'm ready to show you what I've got. And win or lose, you're going to be the person who receives your due credit the person earning the respect of everyone else who's watching you perform in that arena. We are not here to change you. We're here to help you find you. Now, I had a lot of other things I wanted to talk about. Things like you should live with gratitude, respect others, be open-minded, be kind to other people even when they don't deserve it. Accept the fact that you are going to make mistakes, and you are going to make mistakes. And remember that most anything worth having has to be earned. But I know I'm running out of time, so I'm gonna wrap things up with just a couple other important words of wisdom. You want to have a great time here at Millsaps? Okay, I do have a formula for you. Work hard, play hard. Now, that's simple. You've heard it before, but I want you to recognize the fact that work hard comes first. The saying isn't go party, sleep late, miss your class, don't read your assignments, and then play hard. That's not what it says. Work hard comes first. You have to earn that opportunity to play hard. And finally, I'm going to ask you to read. Please, please read. Books, emails, letters, homework assignments, please read. And if while you're reading, you find that things aren't clear, email doesn't make sense to you, that's fine. Come see me. Come see any of us. And you know what? We'll talk it out. Welcome to Millsaps.
Thank you, Dr. Thaw. It's always a pleasure when I see Kurt Thaw on my calendar. Now, that's the truth with a lot of my colleagues, but it's always a pleasure to see Kurt Thaw on my calendar, because I know while he doesn't pull punches and he's not afraid to help us understand what the challenges are, I know I leave every conversation with a reminder of how fortunate and how blessed we are to be a part of this amazing community and the amazing experience that is Millsaps College. So thanks for your words of wisdom. More importantly, thanks for your presence on our campus day in and day out. In February 1992, the student body president initiated the creation of the Honor Code. He formed a student committee from the Senate to begin the wording of the document. In 1994, the Senate voted on the Honor Code proposal and opened a student opinion poll to gauge student reaction. The student body, in a college-wide referendum, approved the adoption of an academic honor code for Millsaps College. It was approved by the faculty and the Board of Trustees in that same year, 1994. The description of the Honor Code taken from the Millsaps catalog says, Millsaps College is an academic community where men and women pursue a life of scholarly inquiry and intellectual growth. The foundation of this community is a spirit of personal honesty and mutual trust. Through their honor code, members of the Millsaps community affirm their adherence to these basic ethical principles. An honor code is not simply a set of rules and procedures governing students' academic conduct. It is an opportunity to put personal responsibility and integrity into action. When students agree to abide by the Honor Code, they liberate themselves to pursue their academic goals in an atmosphere of mutual confidence and respect. The success of the Code depends upon the support of each member of the community. Students and faculty alike commit themselves in their work to the principles of academic honesty. Now, Gracie Singleton, our Honor Council Chair, will lead you in the responsive reading of the Honor Code, and then you will sign the card. The card will be kept in the Office of Academic Affairs for the duration of your education at Millsaps. Gracie?
As a Millsaps College student, do you affirm that you understand the Honor Code and are aware of its implications and of your responsibility to the code? In the interest of expanding the atmosphere of respect and trust in the college, do you promise to uphold the Honor Code? And will you tolerate dishonest behavior in yourself or in others? Please pledge your intention to uphold the Honor Code of Millsaps College by printing and signing your name on the card you have been given. Thank you.
When you've finished signing the card, please pass it to either aisle, and members of the Honor Council will come and collect those cards and bring them forward. It's my great pleasure to congratulate you and formally welcome you to the community of scholars at Millsaps College. I now invite you to stand for the singing of the alma mater. Please remain standing, and then the faculty and the platform party will recess out. And after that, you're free to go. For the benediction, I invite Josh Smith, class of 2023.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys all for coming out today. I know it's often said here at Millsaps that you don't just come here, but you belong here. And I hope that in your time here that your college experience will reflect our motto. But as we embark on a new college journey, I pray that the strength of God sustains us through the highs and lows of life, that the power of God preserves us, that the hands of God protect us from all mental, emotional, and physical harm, that the way of God directs us as we navigate through the nuances of the college experience, and that may the love of God grace us with peace and comfort. Thank you.